Hi, this is Yolanda from VanVeenBulbs.com. And in this segment, we're going to learn all about how to grow herbs organically. Now, why is it important to grow things organically, and why should you really care? Well, there's a lot of reasons that I think you should care if something's grown organically. And number one reason is we eat a lot of our herbs. So my theory too is in America there are some regulations, not a lot of them, but there are a lot of regulations so that a lot of the herbs aren't grown using a lot of dangerous chemicals. When a lot of the herbs are imported from other countries that are using the chemicals, you don't really know what's inside of this container. There could be a lot of chemicals as well. This garlic and pepper powder was grown locally, so I know it's safe. And it was grown by a company that grows organically. So I always try to plant my garden using organic plants, and when I'm buying herbs or even dried herbs, make sure they're coming from a company that uses plants that are organically grown, because it is important because we are putting these items in our body. And for your own garden, it is so easy to grow organically, and I'll show you a couple tips. Most herbs aren't really affected by bugs like other types of flowers in your garden, especially this plant like a thyme here because it's more woody, like a lavender, and most bugs do not like thyme at all. But there's other herbs too that can be a problem, like my basil. And basil, I found that slugs and deer, everybody loves basil. So when you're growing organically, you might find that you're going to get some slug holes on your leaves. And that's usually only in the early season. So a good way to grow organically and not to have that problem is to make sure and put like a layer of bark dust over your bed. That helps a lot. Or even there's seashells or acorns, or there's all different types of options that help a lot. The trick to growing organically is to just use raised beds with good drainage, and make sure there's not a lot of foliage on the very bottom of each plant. You can cut them up a little bit too so the slugs don't have something to grab onto. But I found that even if you do have a problem with bugs, there's so many natural solutions out there. And the easiest probably of all is a little bit of vegetable oil. So I found if you've got any little bugs on any of your plants, just rub a little bit of vegetable oil on your plants, and what happens is it actually suffocates the bugs, and so then they won't come back. And so I try to use good compost or potting soil, and if you use that, you don't really need fertilizers. And the very few bugs that I do have, there's different types of herbs that attract them, and different types of herbs that they don't like. So I kind of intermix all of my herbs in one bed, and that way they don't seem to be the problem that they are in other beds. So it's easy to grow organically, and the trick is to plant everything in good compost with good full hot sun. Water them, but let them dry out in between watering so it's not really moist, so the bugs don't really get in there as much. And you'll find that you'll have a beautiful herb garden that was grown organically with very little care at all.